Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video, all in crypto here. And today we have an interesting video lined up for you. We are going to be diving into Quant Network once again. And we've been highlighting Quant pretty frequently for a reason. I think Quant offers an opportunity similar to the one that Chainlink offered back in 2018. Chainlink was a cryptocurrency that I stumbled upon back in the kind of doldrums of 2018, 2019. And it made a lot of sense what they were trying to do. And actually, we know that Chainlink is a key and fundamental player in DeFi, and essentially an enabler and an allower of DeFi. You know, before Chainlink, blockchains couldn't get access to external data. And Chainlink bridged that gap in the same way that I believe Quant is bridging the financial institutions and the kind of users to the crypto space. And we'll be exploring that a little bit more in this video. The last video that we made on Quant Network, we actually spoke about a fire sale that was coming, i.e., sub $100, and that it was very likely going in that direction. The price of Quant today is just under that $100 mark. A little bit uncertain about the short-term trajectory of Quant. I can see definitely a little bit more downside, but it's not really something that I would necessarily bet on. You know, we've, again, been highlighting Quant a lot recently, just simply because I believe it offers you guys an amazing opportunity, and to be interested in that opportunity and to take advantage of it before the masses pile into it, I think is potentially going to serve you rather well. And that's just my take on it. It's not financial advice, just something that I'm looking at and doing myself. And of course, we love to share what we're doing with you guys on the channel, and hopefully, you know, any feedback that you guys have is very warranted. So we are experiencing a bit of a sale as expected for Quant. It could go a little bit lower, in my opinion. However, I don't know if it's necessarily something that I would be too greedy with, just as a kind of side comment. I really want to start off by just talking about Quant's Overledger system, and maybe expanding a little bit to what I've already sort of expanded on in regards to it offering and being similar to what I saw in Chainlink back in 2018, 2019. Again, Chainlink allowed data to come into the blockchain space and facilitated the entire DeFi boom, the entire ETH summer, you name it. And Chainlink is still doing revolutionary things. You know, we know their SIP, CCIP, that recently went live. That protocol is game changing, and they're going to be again another great opportunity and name in the crypto space. Quant is, again, similar to Chainlink in the sense that it's doing something totally different in regards to allowing data to flow into the blockchains. But what it's really doing is it's allowing institutions and anybody to gain access to the blockchain space, and in a kind of interoperable manner. And this is game changing. You know, if we are going to move to a world, which I believe we're going to, where everything is ran on blockchain, and a lot of those blockchains actually happen to be public, then it needs to be easy to use. And even for myself, there are certain crypto projects that are hard to use. They take a lot of time to get your head around, and then once you do, you know, it's something you have to constantly be up to date with and kind of know what you're doing. There's others that are very easy. But if it's something that you're not familiar with, I think I don't think crypto essentially is in a place right now where it's user friendly, and Quant are looking to facilitate that, not just for small to medium enterprises, not just for institutions, but potentially for everyone. And I think people get really annoyed at the fact that we're looking to bring financial institutions into the crypto space, because crypto is born out of a kind of distaste for these financial institutions. Well, there's two ways to look at that, really. You know, you do have certain cryptocurrencies that are still challenging the parameters of the traditional financial institutions. But actually, I think the space as a whole grows, and from an investment point of view, from a number of points of view, with the implementation of these financial institutions, and then being able to gain access to the crypto space, which Quant is facilitating. So I actually think that Quant is not just going to benefit the token and the token holders and itself as a project, but the entire industry. Let's dive in a little bit now. I've rambled on to quite an extent in regards to Quant and kind of what it is for many people that aren't familiar. You know, Quant Network is essentially an operating system that sits on top of the blockchain space, the entire space. It is not a blockchain. It is an operating system that is, its purpose is to allow for people to kind of have one interface to go to that connects the entire crypto space. So Polkadot, you can use XRP, you could use, and you could actually use all of these blockchains in one case, if that makes sense, in one kind of application. And that is huge. That's something that is currently trying to be done by a number of different projects in a number of different ways, on chain and off. But Quant seem to be really ahead of the pack when it comes to this, certainly in regards to the partnerships that they already have with major, some central banks, trying to actually harness blockchain and implement it. So the Overledger system essentially is a system that sits on top of the blockchain space, and it allows an API that will give you the options to use whatever cryptocurrency it is you want for whatever use case you see fit. You know, you can harness XRP's speed, and then you could go to Polkadot for a vibrant ecosystem and some of the DeFi applications that are on there, and then you could maybe look to use Bitcoin for its kind of store of value asset. There's a million and one things you can do with Quant, but let's just look at the breakdown that was given back when Quant Overledger system was kind of unveiled. And then I'm going to be playing a really interesting clip from somebody who really understands what's going on here and actually why this is so significant. So let's dive in first of all to a little bit about the Overledger system. This is when Quant officially unveiled their innovative blockchain operating system, Overledger. Quant Network unveiled their game-changing blockchain operating system at their inaugural QuantX event in London last night. The groundbreaking innovation reduces the current 8-month lead time and £3 million cost that enterprises endure just to get started with blockchain down to 8 minutes and 3 lines of code. This is the thing as well, right? All businesses that want, just like the internet, okay? If you wanted to stay relevant as a business, you had to move on to the internet. This is my belief, maybe I'm totally wrong on it. If you want to stay relevant into the future, you're going to need to have an involvement in the blockchain space. You're going to need to onboard yourself into the blockchain world. This is the way that things are going. Quant will allow you to do that, and I think that's huge. And I think that is being the individual selling the shovels to the gold miners when the rush is on, and the rush is yet to come. The evening began with a presentation explaining the high barriers of entry faced by enterprises when trying to implement blockchain technologies. Business face a lack of skilled resources, tenuous processing, and complexity risks. World first blockchain operating system simplifies blockchain adoption for enterprises, interoperability without complexity. The inability of blockchains to work together is a widely recognized issue for blockchain technology. Quant's network demonstrated that it is possible to address this without additional infrastructure or another layer of duplicated consensus, minimal disruption, and no forced migration of existing legacy systems. On average, an enterprise would require a minimum of 8 months and a budget of £3 million to develop and test a blockchain technology. Overledger removes uncertainty and barriers by requiring only 3 lines of code. Connecting the world's networks safely, Quant has heritage in cybersecurity for governments. Of course, they're talking about this individual, Gilbert Verdrian's background. As a result, they recognize that adapting a multi-chain strategy is isolating is a daunting task. A key advantage of Overledger is creating permissionless networks that do not open up enterprise to other nodes in peer-to-peer networks. Building the future in game-changing apps, it talks about decentralized apps can only operate within the confines of a single ledger. This has been expanded on a little bit since 2018, so it's a bit more, there's bridges, there's a number of things you can do. In comparison, Overledger facilitates multi-chain applications which benefit from having the ability to operate simultaneously across multiple different ledgers. The team demonstrated an innovative use case on the Overledger in MAP in real time. The demonstration began with a search engine MAP akin to Google and can read and view transactions across multiple ledgers. These included Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, with more to be added in the coming months. Hopefully, we're kind of getting across just why we are so excited about Quant to you guys. I want to kind of finish things off as I'm rambling now with a clip of somebody who really gets what's going on here, and then I'll wrap things up. So I won't continue to ramble. I'll go ahead and play this, and then I'll love and leave you.
So you focus a lot on the products or on the solution. I think I'll step back a little bit further down.
Sure.
And look at it from an end user perspective.
Yep.
And if you look at the end user perspective, and all of us today have multiple apps and so many apps, even across different markets, you will have multiple apps to do the same thing. So now look at the technology evolution that has happened in the recent, let's say, couple of years, and then accelerate also another 2 or 3 years again with the accelerated growth in the AI that will allow you also to use a lot of the different type of services inside interaction between the user and the data that you have in order to make it faster, seamless type of interaction for the different type of services. That will make a concept of the super app, which is an everything app, as our Karim referred to it, is something that the user would need. So it's really centered around the user. It's not centered around the products or the app itself, because today if I wanted to have a ride, or let's say yesterday, I want to click on the ride. If I wanted to have food, I will click on another one for food. If I wanted to have a grocery, I might go here. If I want to ask a pharmacy, here. If I wanted to go for a home service, for an end user perspective, this is tiring. I'm not leveraging also on my spend across multiple apps from loyalty type of programs. No creation of value for me in terms of the insight that I have and the needs. So yes, China is a completely different. It's more of an operating system rather than a super app perspective. It's extremely successful. Again, the market size is completely different. I think for our region, for the Gulf region as a starter, before we go into the overall world, the overall Middle East, for example, definitely is something that the customer needs exist. Definitely it's something that you can leverage. If you look at an ecosystems between mobility, food, this is an ecosystem that you can create value from it. So definitely I think it's something would work. And we've seen the early signs of it also from our own play field on the Smiles program that in our UAE operation is being operating. This is something that's definitely something that you can take it from an app or a loyalty or single silos of solution into more of a digital lifestyle. This is something that would work, definitely.
I thought that really kind of made sense of a lot of what Quant is actually trying to do. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Don't get too greedy with your Quant buys. That's my opinion. Of course, do whatever it is you choose to do with your own money. And yeah, see you all in the next one. Let me know what you thought about the audio. It's always a pleasure. Catch you in the next one.